I'm Dr. Diana, the Deal Breaker, and I'm so excited to do life with you. This is the season that you must be empowered. I want you to join me every Thursday night at 9 p.m. where we can not only grow together, but we can build together. This is your season to go into greater heights, and I want to do it with you. So join me by subscribing to my YouTube channel, as well as like me on Facebook, and let's do it together. Again, I'm Dr. Diana, the Deal Breaker, and I look forward to doing life with you.
Everyone. Hey guys, I want to thank everyone for being on. I want to thank all of you, all of my Big Deal members. Thank you so much. I'm so glad. Here it is, Thursday again, and I'm so excited about some great things we're going to talk about. First of all, I just want to give shout outs to all those who follow me, who are faithful, who support me, and also inbox me, just saying how they appreciate the broadcast. I want to thank all of you. You know, one of the things I want to talk about is that anytime you're in the midst of transitioning, not only there will always be a major shift, but also there will be a drop off. And a lot of times as you change from one sector or to one presentation to the next, or a whole different dilemma to the next, or realm to the next, a lot of times it would inquire a new group of people, also as well as new connections. So for those who are watching, I'm pretty sure that not only are you a leader, but you're in the midst of some type of transition, and you're trying to understand why the changes are so big around you. And I just want to encourage you, a lot of times when there is a falling off, or when there is such a major shift in your life, you will see the impact of it. So be encouraged and know that the things that you've been called to do in this time, you have to be faithful to it. You have to stand strong in it, and you cannot give up on it. So that's one of the things I just want to share to all of you. I want to take the time and ask everyone that's watching right now, please share this now. Also, let's start some watch parties. So for those, my Big Deal members, shout outs to all of you. I just want you now to take the time and let's go ahead and share. Put it out there, and I want you to share. And I just want to say to all of you, those that attended, and I'm so grateful, those that attended the Rejection 101, we had a fabulous time. We learned a lot of great things, and it was very impactful. There were many people as they were watching that were literally getting breakthroughs as we begin to discuss the different types of rejection, the characteristics of a victim and a perpetrator. We also talked about the gates that most people don't understand they walk into and have the exposure of rejection. We realize as well, I'm just giving a summary, that a lot of people don't identify that when they don't think they need help is really when they do need help. Like I told them before, a doctor has to see a doctor. No matter if you're teaching, you think you know everything, you still have to be taught. Not only that, we want to go further, either every pastor must have another pastor. So a lot of times what ends up happening, we think we have arrived, or we don't need this and we don't need that, or that we're okay. But a lot of times you'll find that there are things in you that you have suppressed and has turned now to oppression, which has led now to depression. So I'm very excited. And so all of you, please go ahead and like this page. For my YouTubers, thank you. You've been so faithful. I got a message today how it was amazing that in 1 month's time, I've had over 1,342 minutes of viewing. That means there have been a what I call a entry of a lot of different people watching the YouTube videos. So thank you, and shout out to all of those are my YouTube followers and subscribers who are faithful to that channel and are watching those videos, and also are sharing those videos to empower and help other people. Now, one of the things I do want to talk about is, before we get into the nitty-gritty, is that a lot of times I realize that some people are okay being preached to, but they don't really want to be taught. And so now we got to be careful because we have to make sure that in the place we're in our lives, that we're not caught on sensation, but we're truly about information. And so this is a platform that is not churchy. I always say it all the time, but this is a platform that is faith-based, but it's more important that we give you information to make sure you're putting yourself in a place where you're growing, you're expanding, and you're extending. And so what is happening now, we're so caught up in getting preached to, and we're getting so caught up in saying amen and saying shouts and running around and talking in tongues, but yet we have no information. And when you don't have information, you cannot really progress in the areas in your life that you need to progress. So this platform is to really empower you and to encourage you. And for those that are jumping on, thank you for being a part. Thank you for sharing. And then I have some picky boos. I call them picky boos. They'll peep in, just see what's going, and then they'll pull back out. But I'm encouraged that those that are watching, that you're in a place now in your life that you understand there's so much more to you than just attending church. There's so much more to you than just the things and the positions you've been involved in with your family. But there's gifts in you, there are talents in you. Most importantly, there is a future in you. And if you're one of those individuals that have always been around people that look at you at one particular way, in one particular way, you will find yourself being stuck. But I'm so grateful that we have been created to be a multiple facets. In other words, for those that are in Christianity or believe in Christ, because I have a lot of different cultures and different beliefs that tap into this particular broadcast. For those in Christianity, you yourself know that here it is, God, he has many facets of himself. But what ends up happening, we get stuck in looking at one thing in one place and don't know there's so much more that needs to be added to our lives. So thank you to those who are faithful, and thank you to those who are tapping in every Thursday night at 9 p.m. So one of the things I want to announce as well before we get into the nitty gritty is I want you to save the date. There are 2 dates I want you to save. There are 2 dates I want you to save. One of the first dates I want you to save is a session that we will be having at the end of November. And that session it's actually entitled Truology. And some people have asked me Truology, and a lot of people are now speaking it, Truology. And somebody literally inboxed me and said, is that a religion? No, it's not a religion, but it's a terminology that God has allowed me to create. It's a terminology, it's a concept that I realize that we know truth of other things, but we never know the truth of ourselves. And truthology is saying I'm studying to understand the truth of myself and who am I? Who am I? In other words, everybody have their own truth. And the problem is we try to change our truth to fit their truth. And this is the time now that you have to be excited about who you are. Even if you have the imperfections, you still are a person that have gifts and talent and potential. And you have the capabilities to go higher and do greater things in your life. And so I just want to encourage those that are watching, get to the place of truthology. I want you to join me November the 30th to December the 2nd. It's going to be an online course. It's going to be 3 days, and it's only $40 to be a part of that. And so the registration will actually start in another 2 weeks, I believe it is. In 2 weeks, registration link will start going out to social media, and I want you to register. For those that are watching and you were a part of the last session, go ahead and put in the box and let them know how much they missed. But Truthology is going to be a very, very powerful session. We're going to talk about the truth and what does that really mean to self. And then the second thing we're going to do, we're going to begin to identify all the different ologies. There are so many different ologies in the world, whether it's biology, we can go on and on, theology. There are so many different ologies in the world, and we want to get an understanding what that is compared to the truthology of who I am. Now, If you would do me a favor, as you're sharing and as you're watching, I want to give a shout out to the House of Shekinah Glory, which is my church in Macon, Georgia. I have many of you that are followers that have asked where we're located. We're at 1667 Eisenhower Parkway in Macon, Georgia. And we will be glad to have you to come. We are holding services. Of course, we are going through the CDC guidelines. We're wearing a mask as well as having your tip checked. But you are more than welcome to join us every Sunday at 2 p.m. I've had many people that ask, where are you preaching? Where you minister at? And that is the location. Now, the second thing is you have an opportunity to join me after this broadcast in the Zoom. We have what is called the Real Deal session. It's right after this broadcast. We go into the Zoom chat room and we have real conversations for about 20 minutes. And sometimes it get really intense. Sometimes it get really, really raw. And I want you not to just pop in and look and see what I'm doing here on Facebook, but I want you to join me on Zoom right after this particular broadcast. The information is right there in the box. Make sure you be a part of it and make sure that you take part in what we're doing in this hour as we begin to talk in more depth of this next topic. And this topic, everybody know that every week I have a different topic. This week's topic is simply this, and I want you to catch this and I want you to grab it. The topic this week is you cannot get ahead if you're led by the dead. Okay? Let me just let you soak that in. You cannot get ahead if you're led by the dead. And some of us are attached to things in our life that we think are active in our life and are involved in what we're doing. And we don't even realize that what we're carrying around with us and what is around us and what is with us and what has been a part of us is really dead. Have you ever been around people that are a master of pretending? Have you been around situations where those things around you, it's not real, but you go along with it? It's like you tolerate it because that's the thing to do. And you're wondering now, why is it that I get to a certain place in my life and it's like it's redundant and I'm dealing with the same situation over and over and over again. And you're wondering, why is it that you don't have the energy? You don't have the tenacity. You don't have the hunger. It's like you're in a place of being still. You don't know what else to do. And it's like no matter how hard you try to press your way through, you cannot get anywhere. And it's like you're repeating yourself. And it's like no matter what strategies you put in place, what things you try to study and research, and how you connect with this person and that person, and how much money you spend, and what you do for your brand, it's like you're still stuck in that same place. This is where you need to start searching your atmosphere, searching what's around you, searching what you are attached to, and make sure that what you're attached to is not dead. Is not dead. Now, as we begin to move forth, there are a couple of things I want you to do. The first thing I want you to do, I want you to begin to look and see where you are in your life and where it is you really know you need to make the changes with. The reality is, if you do not understand where you are, you definitely will not understand where you're going. And if you do not understand that this is the time now that everything you do has to be intentional, and you have to stop looking behind you when you've been designed to look ahead of you. If you always look what's behind you and who's not with you and who doesn't what to you and why they did this and why they do that, you're going to get stuck in the place that you no longer need to be in. I encourage you right now, if you're under the sound of my voice and you're listening to me right now, that you take the time now to look ahead of you and drop the dead from away from you. Drop the dead off you. You know what deadness do? Deadness, if you think about dead skin, watch this. Dead skin peels. It not only peels, it dries up. And some of you are in positions and you're in certain places in your life, it feels like you're drying up. Things around you are drying up. We call that a drought. But sometimes what you don't understand is that it's not that you have dried up, is that what has been around you and your focus and your ideas have dried up because you're trying to use a 5 year ago situation or strategy or plan into a place of right now. And that strategy you used back then cannot work for right now because you're not only different, you have developed, you have matured, you have grown, and now you're in that place. You got to grow and you got to go higher in the situation that you see before you. And you got to stop being afraid, and you got to get people out of your ears. If you have people in your ears that's trying to hold you and stop you and block you, you can never get to the place you're destined to go. But I'm here to announce to you and command you to move to a greater place in your life, and don't apologize for it. When you go this time, don't look back. When you go this time, don't have any regrets. Step out and believe not only in what's in front of you, but learn to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, you can never get there. It's amazing because I had a situation recently when I was talking to someone. Go ahead, guys, and thank you for those that given the hearts, and thank you for those that given the thumbs, and thank you for those on YouTube that are putting in the comment. Put something in the comment box. If you're on YouTube and you're watching, put something in that comment box right now. But I'm just here to encourage you, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm so excited, because I was in a particular situation. This person said to me, they said, Doc, that's what a lot of people call me. They said, Doc, I noticed that you have made some major transitions. Your conversation is different. Your topics are different. Your focus is different. And I noticed that because you have shifted in this particular arena, that those that were in this arena did not come along with you. And the person asked, how does that feel? I said, well, when you're in a place of information and vision, you do not have time for sensation, and you do not have time to try to figure out who support, who does not. What you have to do is do the assignment you have been called to, and that is your focus. The problem is we're so busy trying to satisfy everyone else that we put ourselves in a place of neglecting ourselves. But I'm here to announce to you that this time when you step out, you're not going to quit, you're not going to stop, but you're going to persevere. You're going to go all the way through it. You're not going to get halfway and turn around. You're not going to talk negative to yourself. You're not going to get in a place of being intimidated. You're not going to fear. You're not going to withdraw. You're not going to step back. But this time, when you step out, you're going to step out in confidence. You're going to step out in boldness, and you're going to be literally determined, self-determined to make this thing happen. The problem is you're looking for other people and other situations to open doors for you, and you don't even understand that, watch this, it's not that they have the key to open that door, but you have the key to open the door by having the commitment, the loyalty, and what I call the self-discipline, the focus. You have the key. Everybody put in the box, I have the key, I have the key. Just put in the box, I have the key. And thank you for those who are not only watching, but you're commenting. I want you to put in the box right now, I refuse to get to a place where I cannot stay in a place I've always been, but I understand in order for me to get ahead, I have to not be led by the dead. You cannot get ahead if you're led by the dead. And the dead is your bad habits, your old patterns, your old cycles, the way you think, the way you move about, the procrastination that's in your life, the associations that are around you that don't want no more than you. Oh, let's be real. There are some of us that have people that we hang around. We hang around them because we always known them, but they're not trying to go the places you're going, and they don't have the mentality that you have, and you're trying to constantly make sure they understand who you are. But let me help you. When you're going to a place that have been destined for you, there will be people there waiting for you, and those people will understand you. So it is my direct instructions to you, and I command you to know not only who you are, but go in the direction that you've been set to go in. And when you get there, celebrate for yourself, because the thing is, we're looking for people to applaud us, to give us validation, to make sure that we are where we're to be by asking them their opinions and their suggestions. But this is going to be the time you're going to have to step out, not only in faith, but you're going to have to learn how to believe in yourself. And sometimes you can go to the wrong people, you can be in the wrong situation and get the wrong advice, get the wrong suggestions, and then now you're moving into a direction that you should have never went. This is the time now. This is the time that you're going to get ahead and you're going to drop the dead. I said, this is the time you will get ahead and you're going to drop the dead. Now, a couple of the things I want to say to you, and I want you to understand me very carefully. And thank you for those that are registering. Thank you. Those that are registering right now, free to get on the Zoom, because we're going to go right onto the Zoom right after this broadcast. I want to thank you. I had a person to inbox me, and one of the things they said, what do you do when you're ready to transition, but it's like you don't, it seems as if you don't have the people going along with you or standing by you. They're okay with you giving them services, but it's like they don't understand that there are other ways you give services. And one of the things I said to that person in the inbox, and they know who they are, I said, the problem you have, and many of you are going to testify to this. I said, the problem you having is that there were a time that the people or the things you were associated with, they were okay with your services, but they really didn't care for the servant. I said they were okay with what you gave out, but they don't really care what's inside. They don't care. So a lot of times people are looking at the act, but they're not looking at the person that carries the act. And so you got to be careful. And it's not that you look at people, but what happens when you stop giving them what they're used to always having, then they'll find somebody else that'll give it to them. And so now what you're now finding out and distinguishing was those that were there for what was on your life, and not understanding that what's on your life would never change, even if you change in direction, even if you change in location, even if you change in topics, even if you change in your agenda, because who you are and what you carry will never change, then they should not change. But if for somehow and for some reason that your services and your type of services change, and then they change, that lets you know that they were there for only one thing. They were there to get out of you what all they can get out of you, but they weren't there for what had been called to you. And is having followers and having believers. It's a difference, catch this, than having those what you call your fans and having those what you call your friends. There is a difference. Thank you. There is a difference between having someone that believe and have someone that only want to be in the midst of. There's a difference between having someone that understand who you are and having someone that just want what you got. And so this being the situation and this being the case, I said to that person, I'm just sharing some stories that I've dealt with in the last week and a half, that you get caught up on the call. Get caught up on the call and not the crowd. And when you get caught up in that particular way, then you're okay with going ahead and you're not worrying about the dead. Now, let me help you. Sometimes things will occur in your life for a particular purpose. And sometimes that purpose will only, the fulfillment of the purpose will only be what I call viewed or seen when the completion takes place. And sometimes the completion is you having to move from one place to the next place. There's a lot of times when we are stuck somewhere and we're trying to figure out how do we get out of it, and we try to get out of it before time. If you look closely, this is very important. You cannot get ahead. Somebody just put in the box, you cannot get ahead. Just put that in the box. You cannot get ahead. Thank you for those who are liking. Thank you for those who are liking. Thank you for the few of you that have given hearts. Thank you for those who are liking. And thank you for the few of you that are giving hearts. If you watch, please like. If you're watching, please like. Okay? And make sure you join me over in Zoom as soon as this is over. It's right there in the box. Make sure you join me in Zoom. Make sure you join me in Zoom. There you go. There you go. Some of you register now. Join me in Zoom. It's free. Right after this, we're going into Zoom. Give me 10 more minutes. Okay. Look at the word. Put in the box. You cannot get ahead. Now, there's two folds to this. One, you think of direction, and the other one, you think of the peace of mind. Look at that again. Look at the phrase again. You cannot get ahead. One, we're talking about direction, and one, we're talking about the freeing of your mind, the peace of your mind. You can never get peace if you have dead weight around you. You can never go further if you have dead weight around you. You're trying to climb into a higher place than where you were, but something keep pulling you down. It's what's behind you, the weight that's behind you. Particularly, the weight has been, watch this, intentionally positioned behind you. Think about a book bag. The weight is behind you because guess what? It can never get ahead of you and it can never lead you. Whatever's behind you is following you. It is not leading you. So now you got to identify what is it that I'm connected to that is leading me, and what is it that I'm connected to that is killing me. What is it that I'm connected to that is having me grow, and what is this over here connected to me that's causing me to be in gloom? You got to now understand that whatever is in your life has to be a leader for you. It has to lead you into the places that you've been designed to go. And let me go this. I told the people that were on Rejection 101, this is the time now. You don't have time to be a victim. You don't have the time. You don't have the time to entertain the spirit of the energy of victimization. But this is the time now that you get around what I call victim rescuers. Put that in the box. I have to get around victim rescuers. In other words, I got to get around people that won't allow me to be in a slump. I got to get around people that won't sit here and watch me die. I got to get around people who really believe in me. Even when I'm up and when I'm down, they're still right there. They don't wave with the wind. They stick with me through thick and thin. Even when I don't make sense, even when I act crazy, they're still right there. This is the time now. You have to look around yourself and make sure that the dead that's around you is removed from you. Because if you keep that thing dead around you, you will find yourself moving in a grave situation. And when I say a grave situation, you're always in a hole. You never can come out. You're standing in the hole. You can't even see yourself out because you have dead weight around you. But this is the time now. You take every ditch that have been dig for you. Take that dirt, put it to the side, stand on that dirt and make it a platform. This is the time now. You will move ahead. You cannot get ahead by being led by the dead. How will you allow the dead to lead you? How can somebody give you advice and they don't even listen to their own advice? How can you have someone, y'all better follow with me on this. How can you have someone to tell you how to live and they don't even live right? How can you have someone to tell you how you should do stuff and they don't even do it themselves? How can you have someone to tell you who you're not and they haven't arrived themselves? How can you be in a place in your life when you have been called to such a greater place, to be in a place that you know you're supposed to come out of? But because you're afraid, because you're worried about what people say, because you're worried about what they may talk about you with or what they look at you as, you cannot worry about that. This is the time now, my deal breakers, that you break the deals off your life, the deals you should have never went in contract with, the deals that you inherited that don't even belong to you, that don't need to be in your life, the deals that you compromised to get, the deals that you may have lied to be a part of, the deals that you have been pretending to like and love, the deals that you know are doing you no good, the deals that you got to call out, no more, I can't do this no more, the deals, it's time to break them. Somebody put in the box, it's time to break the deals off my life. It's time to break them. Listen, you cannot make any excuses no more. That you tried it, it didn't work. Yeah, that's why a lot of us, including me, have been in a place where you felt guilty. You know you should be much further than where you are. You know you should have much, what I could say, much more money than what you have now. You know you should be in a certain place in your life, a certain statue in your life, a certain position in your life. You should have accomplished certain things in your life. But let me tell you what the problem was. You had dead weight around you. And what you was trying to do is trying to tolerate the dead weight, put up with the dead weight. And you were so afraid because you didn't want to hurt nobody's feelings. But in the process of you not hurting nobody's feelings, you got yourself hurt. You can still could disconnect and be nice. You can disconnect and be kind. But it's time to love yourself, to encourage yourself, to build yourself, to employ in yourself, to impart in yourself, to move in yourself, to grow in yourself, to develop in yourself, to see more in yourself. Because this is the time now you got to break away. Somebody put in the box, I got to break away. 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 And so as I passionately speak, I want to stress to you that sometimes stepping out is challenging. Sometimes stepping out and doing something totally new can be a little bit intimidating. But the only reason it's like that because it's something that you have never experienced. We always, listen, church folks, let's go there. A lot of people in the church love to say, I want newness, I want greatness, I want to be better. But then the opportunity opens up and we find excuses not to do it. This is the time now. It's time for you to get ahead, get wisdom, get understanding, get knowledge, and move forward. And guess what? Even if you slip, haven't you slipped before? And when you slipped before, what did it do? It didn't do anything to you. It didn't harm you. It didn't destroy you. If anything, it taught you. When you slipped before, it didn't stop you. You may have paused for just a moment, but you got back up. And when you got back up greater. Why? Because you have had a lesson in the process of what you were going through. And I always tell people, when you have challenging experiences, don't get caught up in how it makes you feel, but get caught up in the lesson and what happened. Because the lesson is what's going to take you to the next place. The lesson is what's going to take you to the next level. You know what? I've learned something. What sense is it to get all this stuff and you ain't got a lesson from it? Because now you just got it and obtain it, but you can't keep it. And what I find about people, when they get something and they can't keep it, that means they didn't get the lesson. But this is the time in the season that everything you've experienced, there is a lesson in it. And now it ain't about how it made you feel. It ain't about how it tore you up. It's not how, amen, your emotions have taken over you. Move the emotion and get in motion. Somebody put that in the box. Move the emotions and get in motion. Move the emotions and get in motion. I'm going to say it again. Move the emotions and get in motion. This is the time now you got to move because you yourself you're not only getting bored, you're getting frustrated. You're getting aggravated because you know yourself it's time for you to get ahead. You're waiting on other people to catch up. What happens if they never catch up? What do you do now? You sit there and you wait? No. See, we've been taught by many different organizations, even different spiritual institutions, that you're supposed to wait on people and hold out and don't leave them. Some people don't want to go. What do you do with the people that they say you don't leave behind, that don't want to go ahead? Ask that question. What do you do with the associations and the people that you know and the situations you know that when you have people around you say, who you think you are, you're leaving them. You're not supposed to leave nobody behind. But what happens, the person that they say you're not leaving, that you're not supposed to leave behind, are not wanting to get ahead? Do you supposed to stay behind? Do you supposed to stay there? No, you're supposed to go forward. You're supposed to move forward. You're supposed to go forward. I'm commanding you. Listen, I'm not asking you. I'm commanding you. Are you hearing me? I'm commanding you to be who you are. I'm commanding you to step up to the plate. I'm commanding you to take the wheel. I'm commanding you to know who you are. I'm commanding you, stop looking at what other people are doing. You can do the same thing too. And matter of fact, you can do it greater. It's time now to know who you are. I command you to stand up for what you know is time to do. And yes, some people will be left behind. It's okay. It's okay, because this is the thing. Sometimes they will get out of the spot they're in once you have crossed over to there. Sometimes you are their hope. Sometimes when you get there and they see that you can do it, then they'll be encouraged to do it too. And for every person that's been verbally abused, I'm talking to you, and every person that's been physically abused, every person that has been mentally abused, I'm here to announce to you, don't allow the abuse, even the sexual abuse. Don't allow the abuse to become your God. Don't allow the abuse to hinder you. Don't allow the abuse to stop you. Don't allow the abuse to hinder you, because in the lesson of the abuse, you have a weapon. You have what I call the discernment, and to know the wrong and the right, to know when something is not right. You have the ability, because of that experience, that you are not only a weapon, but you're a hope for somebody else. You are in that place now. And I had the session the other night. We did 3 nights of session on rejection 101. And what we find out through the people that were participating, the majority of them, according to statistics, over 70% of them had been either what I consider molested or some type of abuse, whether it was verbal, whether it was an abandonment, and they were fighting themselves, still suppressing those feelings. They were holding on to stuff they had experienced, and it put fear in them, and they couldn't go forward. But after we had the class, and after we broke down every situation and every different dilemma and gate that causes and move people into a place of rejection, that it begins to have danger, and it begins to cause fear and intimidation. Once we begin to expose it, and once we confront it, we got to the front. Somebody put in the box, the moment you confront, you can get to the front. Put it in the box. The moment you can confront, you can get to the front. You can get there. People are talking about they getting delivered. How you getting delivered and you haven't even confronted? You delivered, but it's still in you? The only way you can really move into a complete healing in your life, I'm not just talking spiritual, I'm talking about holistically, because there are people that go to church and they broke down physically, they're broke down mentally, and they're trying to tap into the supernatural realm, but they're not even, their mindset can't even regulate. Their mindset is not even stable enough to tap into a whole different dimension. And so people now are hurting, and people are needing not only healing, but they're needing realignment. And the problem is, a lot of people are stagnated because of their experiences. It's not that they want to be behind. There are many of you watching me now, whether it's live or on the playback, whether it's on YouTube or whether it's on Facebook. There are many of you that know you are greater than what you've been in, but you have allowed your circumstances to stop you. You have allowed dead weight to hinder you. But I want to encourage you today. Do not allow the dead weight to take ownership of your life and over your destiny. Do not allow the dead weight to speak for you. Do not allow the dead weight to hinder you. Do not allow the dead weight to defeat you. You take the head. You take the lead. You take the power. You take the authority and move forward. You cannot get ahead though with that dead. You got to let go of that dead. My last point. We are sometimes disappointed because we are looking for individuals to do certain things or to be certain ways. And when they don't, we're let down. We're disappointed. And one of the things I had to learn is that you can't blame anyone else for anything, because the truth is you allowed it. Okay, let me say that again. I need you to hear me. Sometimes we're expecting people, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's a covenant, spiritual relationship, whether it's friends, co-workers, whatever it may be, okay? It could be even your leader. We're expecting people to do certain things and to be certain things and to act certain ways. And when they don't meet our expectation, one or two things we're going to, well, actually, there's going to be 3 things. One of the 3 things we're going to do. One of the things we're going to do, we're going to criticize them. Come on, let's be honest. I've been there. I've done it. We're going to criticize them and put them down and talk about what they should be. And they can't be this and they doing this. Number 2, We're going to just literally drop them. We're not going to have anything to do with them. We're just going to walk away. And number three, we're going to either stay there and recognize, hey, everybody have situations, but I see the good in them. I'm not going to focus on the negative. I still see the good in them. Not understanding that what you're looking at and what you're critiquing, 9 times out of 10 is in you. I said a lot of times what you're looking at and putting down and critiquing, a lot of time is already in you. Let me tell you why I say that. Because when you begin to identify the greatness in you, all you're going to want to do is focus on the greatness in other people. When you are such a positive person because you have positive energy within you, you disassociate with negativity. I had to do that the last 4 months. I had to get away from all negativity. I had to get away from all he say, she say. Come on, y'all, let's be real. Okay, how grown you are. I'm about to be 50. And even 50 and 60-year-olds act like children. Come on, let's be honest. It ain't about an age. It's about development maturity. Okay. And so when you are only want to be around positive, not that life is always positive. That's not what I'm saying. But you make the conscious and intentional decision to say that in my life, I'm surrounding myself with energy that's positive. I'm surrounding myself with people that would empower themselves as well as empower me, but still be truth. That's called truthology. I'm still going to be a part of things that brings out the best in me, that see the great in me. Because what has happened is that when we begin to when we begin to pour in all these negative experiences, 9 times out of 10, what comes out of us is negative. Okay. But what we do, we take the negative that's in us and put it on somebody else. And when we have the negative that's in us and we see it outside of us, we begin to critique what we see outside of us and don't realize that what it is, we're drawn to it because it's already in us. Let me go further with you. You're normally attracted to what's in you. So if you're attracted to it and all you're attracted to negative things, that's a hint that you are negative yourself. That's why now we got to get out of the place of trying to judge people. That's why now you got to get out of this he say, she say. And listen, if you full of mess, just say, I'm full of mess and I need help. If you're in a place that you've done something wrong, go to the person and say, hey, I did it wrong. I was wrong, and make it right. Because what happens when you begin to continue to pretend, then you become a puppet. And when you're a puppet, you have strings. And when you have strings, watch this, you're going to be controlled. This is now the time that you yourself have to have positive things around you, and you got to have lightweight around you. What do you mean by a lightweight? A lightweight is simply this. I don't have a problem feeling the weight, but I don't need nothing while I'm feeling the weight to tear me down. I don't have a problem carrying the weight, but I don't want a weight that's going to tear me down. I don't need a weight that's going to hold me back. I don't need a weight that's going to hold and push me back. I need a weight, if anything, that's going to help me to get to the place I need to be. Because sometimes having a weight, when you have pressure, pressure brings forth force, and force pushes you forth. So it's okay to have pressure, it's okay to have weight, but when it's dead, that's the problem. Okay. So those that are, thank you guys, you're jumping on. My time is up. My Zoom session is now about to start. Join me. Look at the box there and join me for the Zoom session. It's going to only be about 15-20 minutes. We're going to get more into depth in this. It is more of adult. You have to be 18 and older to be a part of our Zoom session. But right there in the box, for those that are watching, those into YouTube, look in the description box. You'll see that link. Click on that link. It's free. And come on into the Zoom room. Last thing I'm going to say to you again, remember November the 30th to December the 2nd, join me for Truthology. It's going to be a 3-night session. It's only $40. Now, write this down. Those in the box. I want you to hold the date for the Ekklesia Global Conference. It's virtual again this year for 2021. The dates are June 24th through 26th. And we will be announcing the headliners in 2 weeks. Probably in a week, though. I can't wait that long. And I'm going to tell you, this upcoming year is going to be one of the most explosive conferences we've had. This is our 3rd year. This, to me, this upcoming year is going to be the most profound conference this year. Profound, profound, profound. The headers we have is unbelievable. Unbelievable. The keynote speakers are unbelievable. I guarantee you've seen them, probably seen them on TV. You probably seen them I can't tell him too much. I'm just going to tell you our headliners are crazy. Now, I will say we have one returning from last year. The one person that's returning from last year is Sophia Ruffin. I will announce that. Sophia Ruffin, Prophetess Sophia Ruffin. Yes, I know y'all excited. She's one, the only one that's coming back from last year. The other ones, we have four other ones, including myself, that are totally new to the platform. And I'm so honored to have the connection with them this year. And God is just awesome. He's amazing. And I'm telling you, be ready, be ready, be ready, be ready, be ready, be ready. Um, I feel like doing just one more. I give you one more person. I don't know if I should or not, but I'm not going to give you the one I really want to give you. I just give you one more. This gentleman, I'll give you one more, so spread the word. This gentleman you have seen on BET and other station. And so I'm so excited. He's going to be really moving forth, and he's going to be really talking to us about leaders and legacy. That's going to be the topic he's going to be speaking on, leaders and legacy. And I'm so honored to announce, are you ready? Where my drum roll? Oh, Demetria said, don't tell it, don't tell it. Okay, I won't tell it. I was going to tell it. I'm going to tell you that I'm excited. So all of our big headliners are phenomenal. She said, don't tell it, don't tell it. But I'm just honored and I'm excited. So hold that date. Ekklesia Global Conference, virtual conference, is going to be June 24th through the 26th. We're so excited. Registration, we're going to have a push promotional registration. It will kick off in the 1st of November. So we don't have long. We have a few more weeks, but be staying tuned for that. For those who have not subscribed to me, if you don't know who I am Dr. Diane, the Deal Breaker. Please make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. If you haven't, go ahead to my Facebook page, Dr. Diane, the Deal Breaker, and like that page. I want you to join the Big Deal members. If you want to be a Big Deal members, if you would, go and inbox me right there. Inbox me. We'll be glad to give you information. We have several Big Deal members, and we're so excited of all our Big Deal members. And I'm just excited that it's going to get bigger and greater. And so we want, again, to extend that invitation to you. It's only, at this right now, is only $12 a month to be a part of the Big Deal team. So, of course, after the new year, the price will go up. So we thank those who are members, and we're excited. So again, thank you guys for being on. I am Dr. Diane, the Deal Breaker. Visit my YouTube channel and my Facebook page and my Instagram, and make sure that you're with me every Thursday at 9 p.m. Now, next Thursday, we will not have a broadcast on next Thursday. So next Thursday, we will not have a broadcast, but we will return the week after that. And I'm so excited. So I want you to join me on that day. And I believe that will be October the 22nd. So meet me back here. I want to see October the 22nd. Meet me back here on October the 22nd. I'm so excited. Thank you guys for being a part. Make sure you share, make sure you like, and make sure you start the watch party. Until next time, bye guys, and take care. Bye.